These are the stories of the people who enrich our community.
Calling Kent Home Council Edition. Meet the men and women of your Kent City Council. We asked them a number of questions, including, what inspired you to run for City Council?
Ever since we moved to Kent, which was not too long after we started having kids and bought our first house, we got involved in PTA as a start, showed up for cookie sales and movie nights and things like that. And before you know it, you're talking to the PTA president and they hook you up with the board and volunteer positions, and you just keep doing that sort of thing. Karen and I are the kind of people who get involved in our community, and that was really the first place. But through PTA then you start meeting the school board members and you meet the superintendent, and then you start going to candidate forums and you meet the legislators from our area, the state legislators and the city council members, and you start to identify with some of them and help them, and that's what I did. Met some politicians that I thought were doing a good job and volunteered to help them out on their campaigns, and once you do that for a few years, they start asking you to consider putting your hat in the ring, and that's exactly what happened. And it was not a decision I had to think about for very long. It's something I had wanted to do for a while, just because I pay attention, I care about our community, and I wanted to be involved.
What was the most surprising change you've seen in Kent?
Well, even since 1995, so 20 years since since Karen and I bought our first house, it has changed a great deal. It's a bigger city, for one thing. When we first bought our house, we were in unincorporated King County, and we were annexed, and so we're the sixth biggest city in the state now. That is different. Kent is got a great history, and we want to honor that history, but we also need to realize we're in the big leagues now. We're the sixth biggest city in the state, and we're the 17th most diverse city in the nation. Those are things that demand that we conduct ourselves in a different sort of way, regionally and on the national level even, and that is a big change.
What long-term changes would you like to see in Kent?
I alluded to it earlier. We need to step up on a regional level. We need to be present at the regional transit committee, at the various regional meetings. One of the things that we suffer because we may not be as vocal as we need to is we don't get a fair share of the regional pie. You see the Bellevues and the Kirklands of the world being very, very vocal on the regional stage, and we need to do the same thing. If anything, we need to be louder because our needs are different and they're more intense in Kent. Bellevue is a great city, but it's not my style, and they're doing just fine. They're doing a lot better financially than Kent is. So, we need to be at that same table and arguing our case as forcefully, if not more so.
What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
My daughters are 27, 19, and 13, so they're getting up there a little bit. But all of our lives, we've been skiers, go hiking, camping, a lot of camping. We've got family in eastern Washington and northern Idaho. We go camping out there quite a bit. Go camping in the state parks around here. We've got a little pop-up trailer and just take it out to Canasket-Palmer State Park even if we have a spare evening, and light a campfire and enjoy ourselves. We do a lot of indoor entertainment with the T-Birds. In recent years, we've been going to a lot of T-Birds games. One of these years, I'm going to pull the trigger on some season tickets or a partial package, but I haven't done that yet. There's a lot of great opportunities around here. Concerts, my girls are very into music, so we go to a lot of shows and go out to eat in our good restaurants. The possibilities are endless.
Why did you choose Clark Lake Park for your interview?
We're here at Clark Lake Park and talking over the geese in the lake itself. I live not far from here, come jogging through here at least a few times every month, and Clark Lake is a hidden gem. I tell people I live near Clark Lake, and even people in other parts of the East Hill don't know where I'm talking about. And so I wanted to come to Clark Lake because I just think it's a fantastic park. It's growing. We're not done with it by any means. The master plan is fantastic. There's already great trails through here. We come walking through here, my kids, my wife. I see people enjoying it every day. And it's a hidden gem in the Kent Park system, and I'm just looking forward to sharing it with other people and seeing how we can make it an even better place.
How do you describe Kent to a person who has never been here?
Well, you know, if you're back east or something, first thing they're going to think of you is as a suburb of Seattle. And I talk about Kent in the sense that we're a real place. People who are real live here. This is not some glamorous, Beverly Hills or something like that, and I'm glad it isn't. This is a place where real people live, where people who work for a living live. They go out, put in a hard day's work, and come home, and they want to have nice parks to recreate in. They want to have decent streets to drive on. They want the good schools that the Kent School District can provide for their kids. It's a real place. It's not fake. There's great people here.
Tell us a little of your personal history.
My uncle was on Spokane City Council going way back. When I was very young, I was politically involved even at that age. I was out putting signs up for my uncle and knocking on doors for him. And I was paying attention back then. I come from a large Catholic family, and all my aunts and uncles were very much paying attention and discussing politics around the dinner table and, national and local affairs. So this comes very naturally to me. It's not a surprise to any of them that I am where I am. But it is an honor to serve. It's really humbling to be honored by your neighbors and fellow residents, to have this responsibility, and I take it very seriously. I try to study up as much as I can, come prepared to every meeting, and always keep an open door and open mind. I really hope that we can get more involvement in our city government. It's one thing that I worry about. People are pretty cynical about politics, and I understand that on the one hand, but I really push back against it on the other hand, because it's so important that people get involved in their city and their state and their nation. That's the only way we're ever going to be able to change things is with people getting involved, and I welcome it. I hope people will pay closer attention and come on down to City Hall and get involved. It's so awesome. It's so much fun being involved. It's such a good feeling to, do a litter cleanup day or a graffiti paint out, and you drive down that same street the next day and you say, I cleaned that up. Being involved, you get back more than you give. You really do. And it's so easy to do. I mean, sitting around on a Saturday morning, I have a hard time sitting there because I want to be doing something, and I think a lot of people feel that way, but they don't know where to get started. But there are opportunities out there. Give me a call and I'll hook you up with somebody. But it does take you getting over that first step. But I promise you, we're not going to bite your heads off. There are good opportunities for good people to get involved in our community.